Behind this door, I have an idea for you in case you want to get rid of that wire shelving in your kitchen pantry. Let's take a look. Let's look at the before. Before I got a hold of it, it was just boring and bland. Yuck. Let's look at the after. This looks way more refined and has different heights, and I can really work with this. Today I'm showing you how I did this. I created a layout that is way more effective, but also to give you an idea and inspire you to think of a hack that could really work in your case. In case you're not maybe a carpenter, but you want something a little fancier than just wooden shelves, this is kind of cool. The layout is definitely more customized than before with those wire racks. You have got to agree with me, this is 1,000 times better. This hack is going to be different for every single pantry, but the concept is the same. I cheated a tiny bit. I used 2 pieces of existing furniture, and then I added some shelves. There's plenty of tutorials on YouTube on how to create shelves, and I even show you later on how I did these to adapt them to the existing furniture. But I painted everything the same color, and I really kind of measured things so they went together as if they were custom. I think this really upgraded it. What do you think? I am currently working on some printable labels that are going to be pretty cool to help you keep everything organized once you are done with your project. If you are interested in that, go ahead and go to the link below and get those for free. This is made up of 2 pieces of furniture and some shelving. This is piece of furniture number 1 that I purchased for $40 on the Facebook Marketplace. I brought it home and I adapted it. I took off that ugly backing and I added some wood so that it would stabilize a little bit more. Also because it's particle board, that's probably the downfall. If you can find real wood, that would be better. And then I also wanted to attach that to the wall on the back. I sanded this piece and got it ready for painting it. This is the second piece of furniture. I also purchased this on the Facebook Marketplace for $50. It is real wood, so it works even nicer. And I took off the doors and the molding and just left the bare shelves that work perfectly in this space because of the width. Then, as I mentioned, I added some shelving to complement everything, using the 2 pieces together and just kind of mimicking the customized look that we're going for. We used a lip for the shelves, and that's what I'm going to show you here in a little bit. Another very cool thing with this idea is that you are going to be able to do things with different heights. So this shelf is different than these shelves right here. These measure about 10 inches wide. These are about 13 inches. We've got, I believe, 16 inches here, and I've left 27-inch gaps at the bottom to be able to fit different appliances and different things that you're going to have in your pantry. You can decide to customize this any way you want. I decided to leave the top open so that has enough space to add things like my paper towels, and I decided to paint some crates and add height if I need to, or put tall things at the top. That's why I also left the bottom part right here in case I needed to put things that are taller. I've added some things to hang, and I've left this area free from the shelf so that I could fit my dustpan, as well as this area where I can hang my apron and use my broom. I've got appliances down there, and I've got plenty of space for more appliances that are unsightly. Those are like the ugly ones that I don't really want people to see as much. The most important parts of this project are the planning. You have got to know what you usually use in your pantry, how you live. I like to see what I've got. Otherwise, sometimes I repurchase. Take account of everything that you use and your eating habits, what you grab at most, what heights you like. I purchased these things at Home Goods, and then I found this one actually at Walmart, which is a better deal from Better Homes and Gardens. And I suggest that you do your shopping and you're thinking about how to organize before you decide how to customize it. Don't freak out either about how it has to be expensive. These are from the Dollar Tree, as so are these. There's so much that you can do with some really cool stuff just about at any price point. The measuring tape is super important. I have one at home and I have one in my purse. One thing that is going to set the precedence for how you will do everything, even the furniture pieces that you buy, is going to be your shelving. So how wide do you want those shelves to be? This is a 12-inch board and I wanted to extend that. You could extend that by adding even one of these lips, right? So I think these are advertised as 1x2s. They're never 1x2s. They're something like a little bit less than 1 and a little bit less than 2. So anyway, you need to actually know the actual size. But you could either put it like this if you wanted to give it a face, or you could put it like this to extend it. Or if you wanted to extend it even more, you can get a bigger piece than this. But I'm just giving you an idea if you wanted it to be 13 inches or 14 inches in width, and you can only find a 12-inch board as your largest common board, then that's something that you could do to extend it. So as you can probably imagine, putting that piece of furniture and that piece of furniture together was pretty simple. The part where I needed a little bit of help was when I actually started putting together the lip. So the lip is this part right here. And so this is where my shelving was going to rest, okay? So it's super important that when you do this part, this is very level. And you'll see in this upcoming part, a family member who was helping me to hold down everything, make sure we were putting it in the studs and that everything was level. There's approximately 16 inches between the studs. So we use a stud finder to mark where the stud comes up, and then we double check with the measuring tape that it is about 16 inches apart. Then to even verify that this is true, we take a nail and go ahead and tap it. And if we hit the wood, we've done right. We just double check ourselves like 20 times. Who cares? These anchors are pretty cool for areas where you don't have a stud, but you really want to add more support. These are size 8 because I had size 8 screws, and I wanted to use the screws that were also long enough that went through the wood and through to the wall. So these are number 8 anchors that even come with their own drill bit. So that's pretty cool. I found these at my big box store, but I will put that in the link below in case you want to find something like this for your wall. So here you see us adding those anchors that I just showed you onto the wall to make sure that every piece of wood is secure and has something to attach to. Then we went ahead and just worked madly one entire day. It actually did take us about 6 hours to put the lips because we did want to make sure we hit the studs and we did everything correctly. But that really is the hardest part of the whole shebang. If you also notice, I didn't want to go all the way here because it looked kind of messy. So I kept it about, I would say 2/3, 3/4, I don't know, more than halfway through. And I cut it at a 45-degree angle. So I did that, if you can see here, I did that. So it would look, you know, a little bit better on this part. And I think it worked just fine. Now we have put the lip together. We got that part done, right? And now we're going to put our shelves. That obviously it's easy to just cut straight shelves. But how do we unite these two so that they're pretty sturdy? Let me show you. One of the things you should learn how to do is pocket holes. I made another video where I created an outdoor sofa made by 2x4s, and that one also used some pocket holes. So I've already determined that pocket holes and the pocket hole jig is one of those tools that if you do any type of carpentry work, you should have some knowledge about. They're easy to do as well. It's so simple. But this is where I put the pocket holes. Let me show you. All right, so here we are. We have these two boards, straight board, but they're united with pocket holes, okay? And actually to combine the two pieces of wood together that I told you to extend the board, okay? So if you have a 12-inch and then you wanted that other wood to extend, you would also use pocket holes. So that's where the pocket holes are. In this case, I put them at the top because eventually I thought that I would put a liner, so they're gonna be covered, or you could even cover them if you wanted them to be fancier than this. So there's pocket holes here, and there's pocket holes, you can't see them, but there should be, oh, there you are. There's pocket holes right there. Working with a Kreg tool jig is not that difficult. There are plenty of tutorials online, and the tool website gives you instructions on how to set it up. So I'm going to list the product in the description below, as well as the tutorial that helped me learn how to do it. After that, it was time to sand, prime, and paint my boards and put them all together. When it's time to screw in the pocket holes together, the two boards, you could use a second person to make sure that everything is aligned correctly while you are screwing. So this is another situation where two people would be very helpful. To ensure that everything was sturdy and stable, I went ahead and screwed all the edges to the lip on the wall. I want to show you one last thing. Watch this. You know how there's a drawer on the right of the stove that you never know what to do with? I found these spice jars that even come with labels from Amazon that are exactly the right size for this drawer. They are so easy to fill, and then I have them in alphabetical order because they're so cool. These came in 24, but you could get even more to fill out your space. I might go ahead and get another set because it was so cool. But this is a really easy way to have the spices right next to your stove, and it saved me some space also in the pantry. I'll go ahead and place the link in the description below in case you like this idea. And if you are a DIYer just like I am and you love this kind of thing, I've got another project for you made with 2x4s that I think is easy enough. You're gonna love it. As I am editing this video, I realized how many times I said, "This is cool," and that my hair looks crazy right now. Okay, but anyway, I think this is kind of cool, and I think you can make something unique at home. So I'm gonna leave it at that. It's your turn. And I think you'll be just as, and I think you're gonna be just as, and I think you're gonna be just as, all right, are you ready?